What's up guys, today I'm going to review Hongqi Motors, the first car manufacturer in China, and the first brand to make a car which is over $1 million in China. And today the car I'm going to review is HS7, the flagship SUV of Hongqi. Hongqi is known as a luxury car manufacturer in China, and is also the first Chinese gasoline car which has air suspension. But because of its rustic, rugged design, the Hongqi cars aren't very popular, and the prices are similar to those of foreign car brands, so even Chinese are not interested in Hongqi cars. But since it's the first car brand in China, I think it has a long basics. So let's see what kind of car is HS7. There's one point on the exterior of the Hongqi car that they've been sticking to for a long time, which is the red line in the middle of the bonnet. The meaning of Hongqi is red flag, so every car in Hongqi has this red line. And on the old Hongqi car, even a red plastic flag was placed on it. Many Chinese say this is like chicken crest, and many of them say this made the car more tacky. HS7 has a very large radiator grille. Normally, only the luxury car has this kind of big grille. The center of the straight line is red color, but I don't think everyone will like this kind of design. Headlights are very sharp, and this car looks very solemn because of the headlights and chrome trim that surrounds the large grille. This headlight is the same light as Audi's Matrix LED. The Hongqi belongs to the Qi group, and because the Qi group and Audi make cars together, so they share many parts with each other. The car looks nicer with a very long chrome trim that connects the two sides of the fog lamps. It's an automatic grille that opens and closes depending on the speed of the car, usually used for air resistance or for radiator temperature control. The side is much simpler than the front. This car is over 5 meters long and it looks really big. There's a red mark on the side. I think Hongqi is a brand that really emphasizes brand identity, but it looks tacky to me. Every trim level of this car uses 20-inch wheel, and the tire is from Hankook Tire, the Ventus S1 Evo 2. If you look here, it's written Hongqi in Chinese characters, which is specially designed tire for Hongqi. On the side, there's nothing special except for the angular character line like Tigran. But I prefer this simple design rather than making a car too fancy. The back is more practical than the design of a fastback. It's just like a regular SUV, which gives us more space. The rear design is much simpler than the front, but it looks too old-fashioned. It's written in Chinese characters in the middle, but it looks a bit tacky because of this classic font. The overall design of the car looks not very fancy, but the rear lamps don't seem to fit in with the $50,000. It looks too rough. Chrome trims in the center is connecting two rear lamps, which looks okay. The exhausts are both rear exhausts. They are quite large. The overall design of the Hongqi HS7 seems to be more solemn than fancy. Let's take a look at the interior. The interior is also more like an interior design for older people than younger people. But the combination of this wooden trim and these grey dashboards is a rare combination in Chinese cars. This plastic panel has a really good finish. Even the Volkswagen Passat has a lot of noise if you press it, but this car is not. This car uses 12.3 inches of digital instrument panel for all trim level, and the dashboard screen is 10 inches. The system is quite fast. It's based on an Android system. The steering wheel is too normal for a $50,000 car. There's nothing special on it, but I'm glad the logo is not written in Chinese characters. The angle can be adjusted with the buttons, even at the lowest trim level. I don't like the feeling of pressing buttons. It's like a toy button. I think the Baojun SUV, which is much more cheaper than this car, has better quality. The door trim seems to look luxurious with a white stitch and wooden trim, but it doesn't seem to be enough for the price of the car. They are made of Alcantara material. The overhead console doesn't feel luxurious in buttons or design. The air conditioner is a bit like Volvo's. The seats are all real leather and embroidered with white stitch. The length of this car is more than 5 meters, but there's not much space in the back. I've moved the seat to the back, but I still don't have much leg space. The highest trim level has a touch monitor here. This plastic looks really cheap. Considering the price of the car, the material is really bad. Every trim has this large panoramic sunroof. The seats are made of Alcantara and artificial leather. How can be there is no cup holder on the armrest? The light is activated by touch. There are air conditioning control buttons below. If you open this cover, there are charging ports. It doesn't open completely. You have to open it with your hand at the end. And it's located too low. I can't believe this car is more than $50,000. The door has covered up to the seal, which is good for the rainy days. If you can see here, if you don't open the door to the end, it closes automatically. If you open like this, it won't move, but if it's like this, it will close. But not close completely. It's the same as the back door. If you push it in a little bit, it closes like this. This part also has a water strip. I've never seen a Chinese car with a water strip here. The tailgate also automatically opens in the lowest trim level. I don't know what is this for. The space is quite large. You can add third row seats as an option. Most Chinese car tailgate doesn't close smoothly. And let's see how about this car. It's quite smooth. Let's see for the engine room. It's a 3.0 turbo V6 engine with 337 horsepower developed by Qi. Some of you guys may know Qi is a big company that makes V8 engine by itself. The interior of this car seems to have tried to look luxurious, but I think it is lack of something for the price, and the finishing is not good for some parts. Now let's go for a drive. It's my first time to drive a car that has Chinese V6 engine. It has really enough power as it has 337 horsepower. Currently, Qi is the only Chinese car that can develop a V6 engine. They've been manufacturing cars for more than 60 years, so they have a lot of car manufacturing skills. This car has a Japanese Aishin 8-speed AT transmission. Almost all of the auto parts using in Qi were made in China, but using the Aishin mission and the hand-cooked tire is a bit of a surprise. The initial acceleration of the car is not much different from that of the 2.0 turbo 4-cylinder engine, but it's very different after the speed of 30 km per hour. It's very fast and very smooth, and the typical sound of the 6-cylinder engine is different from the sound that comes from the 4-cylinder engine. Although it's not a very explosive acceleration, it's pretty good for a car that's over 5 meters long. HS7 has air suspension for medium trim level. As far as I know, amongst Chinese gasoline car, only Qi has air suspension, and it scans the ground in real time and adjusts the suspension to the level that's right for the ground, which is also a feature that only luxury vehicles can have. But I don't think it can detect a sudden speed bump. The suspension is a bit hard for the speed bump. I think HS7 has really well controlled the noise. Qi invested a lot in soundproof, and what I'm feeling is that either wind noise or noise from the engine are better than normal Chinese car, especially the wind noise. I can barely hear it. Pedal response speed is very fast, and it's very sensitive. It seems to be a car that understands the driving style the driver wants. Qi HS7 seems to be a car with all the technology of a Chinese car, as they are the first car manufacturer in China, and based on over 60 years of car manufacturing technology, they seems to have made a really good car. But the tacky, rough design isn't something that young people would like. No matter how many high technology they got, even Chinese people don't want to buy the Chinese cars with this price. So this is all about the test drive. Feel free to leave any comment.